Okay, I'm hoping to finish up here with my bipolar story. Um, think I'm at my mid-30s to present here. I left off where I had lost my nursing career because of a manic episode where I was stealing narcotics, which was totally out of my character. I tried to go back, but I felt trapped in that decision and attempted suicide. And anyway, so I ended up living back with my mom and my stepdad, and it was apparent that this was more of a permanent situation. But I did try to at least get some kind of job, menial job, and I applied in places. I was collecting unemployment for a while, but that eventually ran out, and I mean, just in local factories and stuff, and I just couldn't get hired anywhere, and I was depressed, not just from bipolar depression, but because I was just losing year by year something huge from my life, my relationships, career, independence, sanity. A big one at this point was my self-image as a person. I identified as being a petite person. I gained even more weight. I was so disgusted with my weight that I showered with the lights out and dressed with the lights out. That was the result of medication that gave you the need to eat bready, sweet stuff, Remeron, Depakote, Zyprexa. It wasn't a craving, it was a must eat now. Bready, sugary. Depression that left me unable to move, so I wasn't exactly getting exercise. And comfort eating. McDonald's became my best friend. I became addicted to it, really. I'm going to talk about that later because obviously I lost the weight. I'll talk about that later. I also had a problem with, I had taken a medication called Topamax, mood stabilizer, and gotten a rare side effect of word finding problems and short-term memory problems that didn't go away after the medication was gone, and it was like I'd had a stroke. I had a lot of trouble communicating in both written and verbal. Just, every once in a while you just go, what do you call that thing that you do this with? Well, it was just sentence after sentence. I was miserable, so I felt just stupid and ineffective. So I had my therapist and my family and doctors telling me I should apply for disability for a long time, but I resisted it because I was totally ashamed. That would just to me was the ultimate failure. And for a year of not working, I finally gave in, and I just sobbed through the whole process. I said, okay. They send me the paperwork, and it's like a packet this thick of all this stuff, and my brain's not functioning. I can't do this, and I know they do it on purpose to discourage people from actually following through. But what I did is I took my paperwork and I took all my records, and I made an appointment with the social worker there, and I sat there and sobbed the whole time, the whole interview. And I obviously was someone who was not there to get out of working, who was lazy, who was working the system. I am still disabled. I was ready to go back into the workforce. That didn't work out, but that's going to come later. So as I slowly adjusted to, I still am adjusting to disability, you know, people ask you, so what do you do? You know, I'm like, well, I was a nurse, and I kind of leave out the I'm disabled now, because then they want to know what you're disabled for, and then, you know, it's just, I assume what they're thinking. I don't know if that's what they are, but I assume, and I beat myself up enough about it. It's really a shame. So, okay. Relatively stable period, maybe of about a year. And my mania takes a new turn. Yet again, catches me off guard. I was writing short stories, which is not an unusual thing for me to do. And it slowly was becoming a manuscript for a book. And I will take partial credit for this one, because I started getting the desire to stay up just a little bit later to write more. And then I would stay up just a little bit later until I was staying up till 4 or 5 a.m. and sleeping for a few hours. And eventually, unbeknownst to me, what I was writing became, there's no other word, insane. And I was writing from my own experiences, from my own memories. And I had what I believed were, I guess you would say, repressed memories that had come to the surface. And, oh my God, this happened to me, that happened to me. And it was this, and I was writing them down in these stories at the time, and this long, drawn out thing where I was kidnapped, studied by a medical group. I had multiple personalities. There was stabbings and shootings, and I was poisoned, and someone tried to drown me, and I was raped, and none of this happened. This is a psychotic situation that is called delusional memories. I wasn't telling anybody about these. I was writing them down, so nobody knew. I didn't know I was off. And the very end, that it was finally caught in, thank God, I had this delusional memory that at 17 I had a suicide pact with a friend, and she had shot herself right in front of me, and I had never fulfilled this pact. And if I were to just fulfill this, she would be waiting for me on the other side, and we would be live happily ever after. I had found the magical answer to everything. I was meant to get to this point. And I had all these like numbers and things, these connections in my room, and connections to memories that didn't exist and were totally delusional. And I really believed that I had been led to this, and this was the answer. And everybody would be happy and in their right places if I would just finish what was started, and she was there waiting for me. I'm going to stop here and continue in the next video.